Hello, Bonos. Welcome to another episode of Gunnersbury Football Manager, and it is a rather somber, sad episode because I have looked at the shortlist. What I was doing was just setting up the shortlist so that I'd have it in the order from goalkeepers to defenders downwards. But what I noticed was when I went onto the shortlist, there wasn't a scroll down option, so everyone was viewable. And the reason for that is, regrettably, some of us, or at least one of us, has retired from the game. So we'll come on to that in a moment. But I just want to finish off the World Cup, see who won it and things like that. As you can see from the final, Spain beat Holland, a repeat of the 2010 World Cup final. So Holland again losing in a World Cup final, so unlucky. Diego Costa with the brace. Strootman, Depay, I don't know who he is. But you recognise all the Spain team, I'd say. It's hard to go back and look at the stages. Whenever I try and do it, it takes me to the 2026 World Cup for some reason. I don't know why. The USA are hosting the next tournament, so that'll be fun. I believe France got knocked out in the semis against Spain, and I can't remember the other team, but yeah, it looked like Brazil. Colombia went out in the quarters to Italy. They conceded 2 late penalties. But yeah, Brazil must have gone out in the quarters as well, because I didn't see them in the semis or the third and fourth playoff. It was France and Italy in the third and fourth playoff. So I can't even look at the player stats or anything like that. But I'm sure you're still eagerly waiting to see the shortlist now, see who's moved where. As I said, I have seen the shortlist this time, so I have spoiled myself. So I'll try and talk as if I am just viewing it. It's only the second time I've looked at it, but I have seen stuff on people's profiles now, and yeah, it's with a heavy heart. I will focus straight on the player that's retired, just because you know about this and it's worthy news now. So here goes. And on your view, you probably see there is a scroll down option, but when I looked, I was viewing it in the full view mode, so everyone was all on the same tab. But here we go. Cat is out of the bag now, and it's so disappointing. I did try to save Ross's life. I did everything in my power because he hadn't officially retired. He was just retiring. It wasn't like Mills, where I tried to bring Mills back to life after he had left the game. I've tried with Ross. I added myself as a manager. Didn't save it, but I couldn't do it. I only found out on this day because I've simmed forward to this day, which is the same day that Ross retired. This just seems to be the end of the season, and Ross had already made his mind up to retire. So even though I added myself as Brentford manager on this day in the game and tried to sign him, there was no option to sign him. When I went to transfer, there was no bid, there was no contract offer. You see, it says contract offer here, but when I tried to do that as Brentford manager, it was just blank. There was nothing there. So I can't bring him back, unfortunately. And yeah, it's sad because it's just like the second you feel like you're losing a friend, they just disappear. There's nothing I can do. And as you can see from his profile, he got 4 caps and a goal for Scotland in the past year. That was the only games he played because he was released from Arsenal. Wasn't picked up, obviously. So it's just a thing in the game now that if you're not picked up in that first couple of windows, you just retire. It's just the way the game, because there's such a size of the database, and there's always youth academies bringing 10, 15 players through every year. They need 10, 15 players to leave the game every year, and free agents are just easy way for the system to just, cleanse, wipe itself. Anyone who's not signed, they just make them retire, that type of thing. So it's ridiculous because you've seen how Al could have been in this position 2 years ago. He went from free to Derby to 25 million. Ross was on Arsenal's bench and was worth 9 million in the last year of his contract. So if someone had signed him and played him for 1 year, he would have been worth 15 million. So the game's not making any sense with this regard. Mills and Ross, obviously a clear talent to play at a high standard championship without a question of a doubt, if not low prem. But it's just the way the game works. The players retire. So yeah, he got 4 caps. His only dream was to play for England and get the 4 caps, but at least he got an international. He even scored. Who was it against? We'll have a look. Against USA. So you made your international debut against Chile. Almost a year to the day, and then you scored in October. But yeah, long-term plans would prefer not to play for Arsenal. Obviously, still angry at the way Arsenal ruined him. But I don't know what to take from it, or what you boys think in terms of the two that have retired, Mills and Ross. They went to Arsenal, Tottenham at a youngish age. They had games before then. Tottenham and Arsenal didn't play them, although Ross did get 22 appearances for Arsenal in the first team. So it just doesn't make any sense that no one would pick him up. It just wouldn't happen in real life. So we'll go for it. He obviously wasn't injured in the window or anything like that. 6 days. No, that was 2020. No, he was available in both windows. No one's even taken him on a trial. Sad. It's just unlikely to go into coaching or anything like that now. If Mills has anything to go by, he's just going to disappear. We'll look at achievements. Just got in Scotland's best 11 of the year. Landmarks. So you're released from Arsenal. And we'll do a little bio of Ross. So Ross Vision Ty is a well-known name for football fans across Europe. Ty made his senior debut playing for Brentford against Millwall on 8th of November 2014, having made his Scotland debut against Chile in June 2022. He has gone on to make 4 appearances for his country. Ty has already announced that he will retire at the end of the season. Ross Vision Ty began his career at Brentford in 2014, making a total of 5 league appearances. In July 2016, he joined Arsenal for £1 million and made 22 league appearances and scored 2 goals. During this time, he also spent time on loan at Millwall, Sunderland and Sheffield Wednesday, making a combined total of 99 league appearances and scoring 13 goals. I mean, that's not a bad return from midfield, just one shy of the century. Obviously, 199 potential, categorically say unfulfilled, and just sad that you couldn't carry on the journey and have fun, and because I know you enjoy watching it, one of the people that definitely watches it, so I'm sure you'll still watch it, follow all the Bonos, and I'm sad because it feels like it's like you start your age at 16 with all of us, and then everyone else moves on, and I don't know what you're doing now. You're probably unemployed, regretting not going to university. So that's that. We'll go back to the shortlist now and just take it from the top. So let's start with Reflex Pratt. So he should be starting to come into his own now. He's 25. We're all 25 now, but as a goalkeeper, this is more the equivalent of us at 21. So his communication's very good. It's almost the best thing about him. The reflexes getting better. So he's looking solid. Check out the career stats. He's on an upward curve. 2, 3, 6, 11, 16. So he's played almost half the Premier League games. Joe Hart is obviously on the way out. Nothing on the injury front as a goalkeeper. You don't get too many injuries. We'll save off the achievements just in case it spoils it for any of the other Man City boys. Fuck's sake, I hate when that happens. Alright, we'll have a quick look at his contract and compare him with Concentration Prep. Debut against Algeria, so nothing too much there. We'll go back to the concentration, just have a quick look, and in the next part we will start with John and the fullbacks. So he's actually played less games for Southampton, maybe he was injured. All right, see you in part 2.